Pawpaw would never talk about the Lachia man-wolf. But back in 1976, Uncle Jeffro, his brother, made him tell us about this. When the story ended, while sweating profusely, he asked me, his oldest son, to fetch him some white lightning. This was a very strong moonshine that not only made you howl at night, it took away the cold and flu. We never missed a day of school because of that wiki. Pa drank a quarter of that mason jar that evening. He sat in his rocking chair until he could rock no more. He fell asleep, never to wake again. This is what he told us. Pa was raised on the outskirts of a town called Wilkesboro, NC. He grew up in a shack no bigger than your biggest middle-class metropolitan kitchen. Pa said that he didn't want to beat around the bush, so he decided to rush into the meat of the story. There was a man that lived near the creek about 1.5 miles south of his home. This man was said to have been the same age for at least the last 40 years. Other people had seen this guy over the years. They claimed that you may only see him around 2 or 3 times a month, always in the mist, the wee hours of the morning when nothing moves. Still waters and steam off the calm water. Folks always told us to run if we found clothes that were neatly folded up in the woods. When you saw this man of average height, he was always nude, wet and steaming, erect with his neck to the sky like a turtle. He was told that everyone would run at the sight of this. No one knew his name. Pawpaw said that he and Grandpa had got in a violent tussle. Grandpa was a sloppy drunk that was very abusive when he drank. A lovable teddy bear by day and a greasy grizzly bear at night. He said Grandpa told him to get out after Gramps fell through the rosewood coffee table. Daddy took his camping gear and stormed out into the night. Forgetting his flashlight, he trucked his way through the woods. He thought that he was going north towards his friend Jeb's house, but instead he wound up traveling south. He decided to stop and pitch a tent. A crescent moon was the only source of light. He got his fire going and he sat in the woods alone, freezing, hoping that his father would calm down and allow him to come back home. Pa said that he was very tired because earlier he had pulled a 12-hour shift at the mill. It was then when he heard something being eaten in the woods. It was a sound of breaking bones and heavy breathing, loud smacking sounds that was hypnotic in the night. He said that this feasting never seemed to let up, except for the intervals of a deep wailing that seemed to reverberate off of the trees and echo in the night. Pa said that he was afraid, and at the height of his fear, it all stopped. There was total silence. This is when Pa said he witnessed a slow rising. Giant silhouette stand tall with its wolf-shaped head blocking out the moon. He said that it had to be at least 60 yards away. In the distance, the light from his fire swallowed itself into the eyes of the beast. He saw its eyes, which seemed to be of an amberish hue. It then blinked and jumped. Paul thought it was gone. He then heard and felt a terrible thud vibration behind him. The kind of impact that made limbs fall from the trees. He turned towards it, and it was on all fours, breathing deeply into his face. Pa said that the fire flamed out when the beast landed. He said that he could feel heat emitting from the body of the beast, a dank, carnivorous humidity releasing from the beast's slow exhale. Pearls for pupils as the beast hovered over him. That it was huge. The body was large, with human hands and very long claws. Broad shoulders and muscular biceps like a man with the clean coat of a jet black German shepherd. Pa said that in all of his fear, he just kneeled down before it. I asked why. Pa said it was because it was so beautiful. Terrifyingly beautiful. When he kissed the ground, the beast erupted into a loud, bass-filled roar and quickly took off. That this was when he passed out. Hours later, he woke up moments before the sunrise. Looked around, wondering if that last night was a dream. He then began to run, leaving all of his gear. He ran until he passed some clothes that had been folded up and left on a dry log. It was then that he realized that he had walked south last night, and he was in the area of the man that never ages. The sun was rising. He took off again, this time running towards his home that intersects the adjacent creek. Running very fast, he caught a blurred glimpse of the strange man's neck reaching up from the grass into the sky. Pa said that was it. Afraid to share his story, he kept it to himself for years. Like he said before he died. He moaned, "It's up to you to decide if it's real or not."